I wasn't sure if that was our entrance music or if Kota Ibushi was walking out. Like they're one and the same. So I mean,
that was dope. By the way,
either way, it was. I love our theme song. So
we're not. We usually don't come on here and talk about the big boys. That's not what For Exposure is all about. No. We're usually talking the independents, but I think Kota Ibushi being in AEW for Blood and Guts was phenomenal.
Yeah, I loved it. Loved it.
I had a really good time with that show. I really I don't know how people perceived it overall or how they felt, but I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And side note, before we get on to what we're supposed to talk about, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view last night was also 2 thumbs up.
I did not see that. I went to a county fair. Mm-hmm. With the wife and the kids, and one of the younger ones had a buddy with him. So I spent an absurd amount of time in line at rides and bought things I shouldn't buy that are expensive and useless. But we had a good time.
Nice. Did they have wrestling there?
They did not have wrestling at this fair. I was disappointed. Mm-hmm. I didn't even see. Mrs. Pluggo said she saw one person in an AEW shirt. So that was cool.
Cool.
That was really it. That was it for my wrestling because my phone had also died. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't even keep tabs on anything that was going on. So that was disappointed.
It happens, but I'm glad you're here today, Like that's what's important.
I am here. You're here. Yes. Wrestling's alive and well.
Yes.
That's really all we can ask for. Mm-hmm. Right. And then I've got this because I'm so tired because last night was such a long night. Just like the independent wrestling promotion out of Canada, I got me some C4.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Independent wrestling and energy drinks go hand in hand.
Now, I am curious. Do you have a stockpile of C4s in your house or did you go out this morning and bought one?
I went out this morning and bought one, but they've become quite the go-to. They've become quite heavy in the rotation for me.
Yeah.
Because they're I don't want to say that energy drinks are good for you, but these are better for you.
Okay. I usually crush like one a day.
Yeah. I'm down to one a day. That's my goal at one or none a day. I used to be the
what's the most you've had in one day?
Oh, I don't know if I should say that legally on air. 6. I used to, no jokes. When I had this job back in the day, before we're going to get way off topic here, but like I would go in the morning. I worked at a grocery store. I would be one of the earlier mornings. I was a meat cutter. So I'd get the whatever was 2 for $4, 2 for $5. I'd get those. I'd crush those in the morning with a donut or something.
Okay.
Then I'd grab one for lunch, because it's lunchtime. I'm still early. I need to power through. And then periodically throughout the day, somebody would go get drinks for the team. And then you'd have one there. Maybe you'd have one at home. Yeah, no, it was bad. So Pluggo, yeah, I was crushing back in the day. But now it's like one is probably good enough.
Yeah.
And I'm on this healthier lifestyle living kick. I kind of destroyed so I'm trying to slim up. I'm eating better, drinking better, But hey,
it's tough. I'm trying too. It's tough.
I used to work like 2 jobs as well. So I was always up and tired, needed energy. And it's a nice Band-Aid. It tastes good too. So that's what it is. But no, we're not doing that anymore.
6. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably
only 3. I think it's only 3. Maybe 4, but I think it was 3 on multiple occasions.
Well, I can also tell you, based on just our age alone, or at least mine, the energy drink game has changed significantly. So, like, nowadays, you can sneak, like Bang has like the most caffeine possible. They make, you know what I mean? So, like, now it doesn't take as many. But, like, back in the day, like, it was just like, now there's all sorts of options and you can make it work. But yeah, just drink lots of water.
You had that one Jolt Cola and it turned your whole life upside down.
If you've never experienced Jolt Cola, then you're missing out. That was a wild scene.
Yes.
We were the test market. I'm 37. My demographic, my age group, we were the test market for like everything. If you remember those like alcoholic energy drinks that they used to put out, like that they no longer put out anymore because they realized they were killing people. Like, oh, there it is. I thought something looked weird today.
I was like, something's missing. So I went and I found it. There we go.
Here, but there we go. Every week we mess something up, we figure it out. But yeah, test market for everything. So I don't think anything's gonna kill me in terms like energy drinks or a Jolt Cola or whatever. But still going strong.
Yes.
Speaking of killing things, we had a killer show last week that we want to talk about. But first, how are you, Blair?
Pardon me. I'm doing good. I'm good. I was about to burp. I reined that back in. I mean, nice to have a full weekend off again.
Yeah.
2 weekends in a row. So I mean, I'm living the high life right now. It's kind of nice.
We're back in the high life again. I don't think that's the words to that song, but it should be.
I don't even know what song you're singing.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I know exactly what I'm thinking right now. Don't worry. It's all up here.
Okay.
So 2 weekends off in a row.
Yes.
Hopefully they're fun-filled weekends of at least some relaxation because you deserve it, Blair. You're a hard-working guy.
It's
you
funny.
deserve
I appreciate that. It's hard out here,
Hard out here.
Put in the work.
Put in the works on Grainmaker Pod, LPW show. LPW's next week. I can't believe it's next week already. I was sitting there like, oh, shoot. That's next Friday. Like, all right, let's go. I'm excited. I just talked to Taylor Rising. You talked to Jasmine or Laura.
Yes.
Taylor was fantastic. Jasmine, you killed it in the interview. Yeah. JPJ talked to Amir Jordan.
You're Team Taylor. I'm Team Jasmine, and we're gonna, see who comes out victorious.
Which is awesome. Like, that'll even be more fodder for the show because I'm excited. That makes sense. But also biggest news of the week before we dive into this IWS show that I know I'm going to talk about because I chatted with Big Ben Ortmans directly after who came back at IWS, but the Rads and the Beards are like friends.
I was very happy to see that on B2B. Very happy.
The Rads and we had a Rads table and it turned into quite the peace summit. We got along. We got very in depth about their start, how Tales from the Undercard is going, what they're like. It was, and there was very minimal, discourse.
That's good. I'm glad that you all are becoming one and becoming this union of friendship.
Yes.
The union of friendship.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can get them on this show. Who knows? Maybe. All right, Blair. You drive the ship. Where do you want to start?
We're going to start off. We're going to talk about some IWS because Scarred for Life was last Saturday. And I mean, last Saturday there was a boatload of wrestling going on, and it was great. Just like how much different people were watching different stuff, because I think a lot of us here on Love Wrestling, we were all kind of tuned into IWS, talking about it, tweeting about it. I know we kind of ran down it on the brunch gimmick, but we're going to run down it on here because here's your home for independent wrestling. So we're going to talk.
Yeah, and I wasn't on the brunch gimmick. I should have showed up. I almost did. Something came up last minute, and I was like, So maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay. I could maybe, You never know.
Well, the show started off, and I mean, Dark Sheik was unable to make it. I think it was passport issues.
Yeah, there was some visa, passport work, something that Sheik couldn't make it, which was unfortunate.
Yes,
because I think we were all looking forward to Benjamin Toll versus Sheik, but hey.
Instead, we got Benjamin Toll versus Green Phantom.
Yeah, which I had been, no disrespect. We love Green Phantom here. We stand for Green Phantom here on Love Wrestling, but I was pulling for my boy Big Ben Ortmans to get the spot. But that's all right. It was still a good match. It was a lot of fun. Benjamin Toll, I think I will say this: if you don't know who he is, go out of your way, Google him, YouTube him, find out some matches of his. He's a very underrated wrestler.
Yes.
I think not enough people know who he is.
He's the current IWS World Heavyweight Champion. So, he's putting in the work. He's making those title defenses. And I mean, him and Green Phantom had a solid match. I'll say I was a little disappointed because I know Green Phantom was slotted for that 6-person tag, but due to an injury to Shane Hawk, they had to readjust the lineup. And I mean, with Dark Sheik unable to make the appearance, it made sense for Green Phantom to slot in there. But when, you have someone not being able to make it, you always kind of hope for a surprise. But hey, short notice, what can you do? So,
very short notice. I think they made the best of the situation. We got to see Green Phantom a little later on as well. So they tied a lot of stuff together. And hopefully she gets it figured out and can make it back.
Yeah, 100%. Because I'd like to see Dark Sheik and IWS. I think that's a perfect match. So.
Yeah. Just like Blair and Pluggo, a perfect match.
Best friends.
Oh, wait. Thanks for the love. Have you seen those, by the way, have you seen that new trend on TikTok where people act like NPCs for an hour and people just send them gifts and they make boatloads of money just going, thanks for the likes. And then somebody will send them like a hot dog and they're like, ooh, hot dog, nom, nom, nom. And
they're all like gang.
Yeah, they just do this for like an hour and they're like, thanks for the likes.
Is there a market where we could do that?
I would sit here for an hour if we could talk to the bosses to be, the powers that be, let us go on the TikTok live. We could do the NPC gimmick and we'd be like, oh, hearts, thanks for the love. Yeah, we just sit there and we just do this, and then all the gifts we react to them. So like people do different things, of course. So like somebody sends you a rose, you're like, roses. Yeah, so we can make that happen over here.
Send some super chats and we will do that. There you go.
Yeah, there you are. That's how we get that done. But yeah, so we're moving that. So we had a Green Phantom, Benjamin Toll. Green Phantom did not win. Toll is still your IWS heavyweight champion.
Yes.
So no surprise there.
No. After that, we did see Ben Ortmans in the Canadian title #1 contendership match.
Yep.
Ben Ortmans, Matt Falco, Bob Anger, Leon Saver, Stephen Maines, and Sway Archer.
Yes, this was fun. It's Big Ben. I'm gonna focus a lot on Ben here because I just love him and he's the best. 9 months he was out. He came back. He came back to he's usually the heel here, and the people of Montreal are not too fond of Big Ben Ortmans, but they were even excited to have him back in fold. So this was and then Stevens, is that what I'm butchering his name? I always do it. Stevens. That guy looks like
Stephen Maines.
Stephen Maines, thank you.
The guy who was just jacked.
That's I didn't know a lot of the guys in this match per se super well versed on him, but I saw him and I was like, that guy looks like $1 million.
Yes, his abs have abs.
His abs have abs, which probably are starting to develop abs.
Yes. Like
he has abs on abs on abs. I have flabs on flabs on flabs.
Like peak physical fitness is Stephen Maines. And he had a great showing in the match. I thought he was going to win.
Yeah.
But no, Matt Falco ended up being victorious.
I admittedly thought they were going to go a different route, maybe with Maines, like you said, because Falco. Not any disrespect to Matt Falco, he's a hell of a talent. I just feel like we've that was like the obvious pick, so I thought they were going to throw us a curve here.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you get Matt Falco in there, and he's going to end up with a match against Benjamin Toll. You could do far worse.
Mm-hmm. After that, the IWS Women's Championship match, we had Melanie Havoc defending against Danny Leo, and I was a little surprised. I thought that Danny Leo was going to be victorious, that we were going to have a new champ, but that was not the case. Melanie Havoc was able to hold on and be victorious.
Yeah, they that match, I had a lot of fun watching that match. I'm super excited to see more from Danny Leo. Melanie Havoc, I think if anybody's listening to this and they know IWS well, know how talented she is, but Danny Leo's on that come up, so go give her a follow on social media and watch it grow, man. I'm pumped to see more from her. Mm-hmm. And by the way, this crowd was fun. The atmosphere was a blast. You could tell how much the commentating team just like was putting everything over and super passionate behind it. It was just a fun night.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I loved the promos Danny was doing leading up to the match as well. Little things like that always add so much for me, especially going into a show of this magnitude. So I think that was huge. And, you know, I'm excited to watch them continue to grow and seeing what they're able to do on the independent wrestling landscape.
Hell yeah.
Okay. After that, let me just pull up my list. We had, we had the 4-way ladder match. The ladder war between Fresh Air, TDT, Wasted Youth, and the Bay City Choir Boys.
Yes.
Right off the bat, Fresh Air, incredible. Wasted Youth had a hell of a showing. And I mean, TDT is one of the best tag teams in Canada, bar none. And the Bay City Choir Boys had a hell of a showing too. And I mean, you had different styles of wrestling in this match, different dynamics, and I loved what they were able to do with it. Wasted Youth was able to put on a show, some high flying, high risk. Same with Fresh Air. I mean, watching Junior Benito try to go through that table not once, but then they threw him again twice. Like the first time they chucked him into it, didn't break. Then they tried again, and he went right through it. Hell of a match. Loved it.
Oh yes, definitely. My takeaways for this was like the Bay City Choir Boys are now one of my new must-watch teams. I'd never really seen them before, and I was like, I like these guys' vibe. I like this style. This was like a car wreck all the way around, you know, just high spot after high spot, ladder spot after ladder spot. Again, this was another one of those. This is where they threw the curveball that I didn't think they would throw. Like TDT, like you said, one of the best Canadian tag teams in the world, possibly one of the best tag teams in the world. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to get the win here, but they went with Fresh Air, and that I wasn't mad at all.
No,
I'm just happy for our buddy over at Mike from Indeed, a fellow Love Wrestling compatriot who didn't have to clean up his house after that, because he famously tweeted that if Fresh Air didn't win, he'd be throwing things around the house.
Yes. But Fresh Air was victorious. A huge spot to end the match. Won't say too much about it, but definitely check it out because it was pretty big.
It was a good time. It was a super fun match. A lot of chaos. A lot to keep an eye on there.
And you mentioned the crowd. Venue was also magnificent. Like,
I love
what
that
a
venue.
place to hold a wrestling.
Yeah, beautiful venue.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely stunning, as the kids say.
Now, the next one was one of my favorites of the night. Jordan Oliver defending the JCW championship against Carl Jepsen. I thought Carl looked like $1 million, and I thought Jordan Oliver looked even better. You can make a strong argument that Jordan Oliver could be put up there for Wrestler of the Year, not just independents, but through all the promotions, because the man is crushing it, whether it's tag team, singles. He's putting banger on after banger on for everyone, and it has been incredible watching this run he's been on. Like, fantastic.
Yeah, I've been on this Jordan Oliver bandwagon, and I think you said it perfectly. Like, I have been on he should be on your short list of independent wrestlers of the year, if not possibly win it. But you're right. Like, if you were just taking the landscape of wrestling, like, he is on an absolute run right now. Carl Jepsen was a guy that I remember we talked to Shane Hawk a couple weeks ago, and he said, keep an eye on for this guy. This guy's going to be something special. And you could see it. That match was super hard hitting. Jordan Oliver has an ability to adapt to a high flyer style, to a hard hitter like Jepsen. Jepsen gave him everything he had, and he came up short, but it might have been like low key match of the night. Like, it was just so good.
Yeah.
Get on the Jordan Oliver bandwagon, and also save yourself some room for Carl Jepsen, because he's fun too.
Yeah. Carl had a hell of a showing, and someone else, again, you're excited to watch them grow and see what they're able to do, because I mean, he's someone, like, strong powerhouse, can hang with the best of them. So I mean, I want to see him get more opportunities, get out there a little bit more. Just a great showing by Carl, great showing by Jordan. One of my favorite matches that night. After that, we had the IWS Tag Team Championship match. We had Amazingly Sweet, Alex Mays, and Chris Dara facing off against Casanova Productions, JT Producer, and Matt Viviani.
Viviani, my guy! Woo!
The unsuccessful Matt Viviani on Quizplex this past week. Just throwing it out there. And he was unsuccessful in the match against Amazingly Sweet.
Be nice to Matt. Matt and I are kindred spirits, because we both
you guys are.
Truly believe that Zark is an alien and the ampersand is not a real thing.
That you could make a strong argument for that.
But no, wasn't they put this together because of the injuries, because I think Viviani and them were supposed to be a part of that 6-man with Phantom and everything, and they put this together. Yes, we got this kind of thrown together, which was cool. I love Amazingly Sweet. They're so much fun. Alex and Christara are wonderful human beings, and Casanova Productions, in storyline, are not the nicest of people. So it was a clashing of ideals, but it was the playing field was leveled, because Green Phantom came out. And he took care of some business. So I think we're going to be seeing Green Phantom and Matt Viviani mix it up relatively soon. And I think that's awesome. But your Amazingly Sweet are still your tag team champions of the world.
Strictly just poking a little fun at Matt Viviani, because Quizplex was very enjoyable.
I gave him 2 points.
You did.
I love throwing out a couple chaos points here and there. By the way, if you're watching this or listening to this on Quizplex every third Thursday of the month, you can sway the scoring by just saying, hey, here's $2. Give 2 Quizplex points to this person. And that's what I like to do.
I just enjoyed watching Little Mean Kathleen come from behind, become victorious, even though she dished out 2 answers of Chris Benoit. So I watched on one.
I watched the beginning, because it full to shoot. That was during the interview time I had set up for Taylor Rising, so I was kind of like getting prepared for that. So I have to watch the rest of it, but I heard it was a bonkers episode.
It was very fun. So very fun. So
poor Jack Pride, he had a good run as your Quizplex champion. I love me some Jack Pride.
And there were some tough questions in it. So
Zach does that to everybody. Yeah. I hate to keep putting it over. I hate to keep putting myself over, but in the interview I did with Ben Ortmans, we talked about how difficult Quizplex questions are. He's still not over it. He said he thinks about it while he's body slamming people.
Like, there are times where I'm watching and it's like, yeah, I want to be on Quizplex. And then I see the questions and I'm like, no, I don't.
What I like to do is I like to answer all the questions, even though I get most of them wrong anyway. I like to answer blatantly wrong in the chat.
I'll throw out my wild guesses in the chat, but if I think I'm right, I'll super chat it and just throw it out there just in case.
Yeah. Well, you should throw out your wild guesses at super chat to throw off the contestants.
No, because I want Little Mean Kathleen to go into the Quizplex Hall of Fame. So
I think she, even with 1 win, I think she might. Like I said, the early on portion that I watched, she was a blast.
So I'm going to do whatever I can to continue this
And
run.
I'm not a guy that votes strictly on points and wins. I talk about if you're entertaining, like like Polo Del Mar is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of Quizblock contestants right now, win or loss.
She had an Applebee's background. I'd crush some Applebee's matzo sticks. Give me the appies. Give me the appies, bro.
Well, shoot, my oldest son turns 15 next week or next month, in a month and a half. Yeah, something like that. It's close. It's coming up. And I go, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'd like to go out for a steak dinner. And I was like, cool, I can do that. Where do you want to go? He goes, Applebee's.
Yeah.
I was like, if that's where you want to go, but we could do a little bit better.
Hell yeah.
But that's fine. Yeah. So there you go. Little me and Kathleen and my oldest are kindred spirits, man.
All I have to say about the tag match, this was also up there for favorite matches of the night.
Yep.
Kristara had a star-making performance in my mind. Kristara has all the tools to be a huge player in the wrestling landscape, and I am very excited for them. I hope they get it because, the match, top-notch. Presence was known, presence was felt. Kristara did a hell of a job.
Yes.
After that, we had Baki Ito versus Vanessa Craven.
Did you say Backy?
No, I said Mackie.
Oh, I heard Backy in my head. I was like, Backy, did she do something different?
No, Maki Ito.
Can I just say, with Maki Ito, I get confused when she comes out to her regular entrance and not the MDK entrance.
Just not used to it.
I'm just like, oh yeah, this is her thing. This is what she does. This was another one. This was fun. Vanessa Craven's on that come up too. She's a powerful force. She's she's got a lot of great tools. And then of course Makito's small, but she's feisty and she's got the hardest head in the game. And of course, Maki's getting it done,
And they tell a very simple story, but effective.
Yeah.
So it worked.
This was just fun. This was just a fun match. Like I say fun a lot, but this was. It was just like, hey, Maki Ito's out there doing her thing and popping the crowd. And that picture of her and Lawrence broke the internet of just overall cuteness.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Lawrence. Yeah, our Love Wrestling brethren Lawrence and Zach were at the show.
Yes,
taking it all in. So they had a good time at the meet and greets or at the merge tables. So
they had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the show wrapped up with a hell of a match. You had Lufisto and PCP, Crazy F and Manny, taking on Bussy. And this, a huge props to Allie Catch because she got the memo and, a street fight decked out in the jeans with the knee pads over top, sleeveless shirt. Huge mark for that. So, I loved it. Same with Lufisto. Fantastic. So little things like that. I like that shit.
I don't know who knows this, but I somebody had did an interview or asked a question and I don't remember. It just was in the hours of wrestling I watch and listen to throughout it. But they had asked why they do that, and they said because gear's expensive.
Hey, that works.
And if you're in a street fight with thumbtacks and you're getting cut up and stuff, you just don't want to ruin your super expensive gear, so you go street fight clothes so you can ruin a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah, because I was thinking about when Lufisto came out too, I was like, yeah, her gear is super intricate and I'd imagine quite expensive, so to tear that up with a cheese grater would suck.
Not optimal.
Not a great business investment. So but Effie, I always enjoy Effie in a deathmatch setting because he just comes out in his gear. He's in his trunks, and he's even said he does that because he feels like it cheapens it a little bit if you're all geared up. But good for Effie.
Yeah, I can see it. I have no disdain for any wrestler who doesn't do that. It's just I always like seeing that because it harkens back to when I grew up, in the late 80s.
It means it's 90s. On.
Yeah,
to be though. It means it's on, and that's awesome. And this match was nuts. The cheese grater got put out. She cheese grated PCP Manny's face and then licked it, and I was just like, "Whew, this means business." I'm stealing it. I'm using him again. Mike from Indy tweeted that he's 97% sure Allie Catch was hallucinating after licking PCP Manny's blood, and I thought that was the best tweet I've ever seen.
The ending when Effie's head hit the chair there, like you saw that on the highlights, and you do a oh my.
I was like, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he was fine afterwards, but like just it's right front and center, and you see that, and you start to wonder, like, okay, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully,
Yeah, because it didn't look like he meant to hit it that way, but when he head bounced off that chair, I was like, ooh, this match. It was intense. It was these guys, these four people were like, we're gonna steal the show here. We've got, years and years of IWS matches to try to beat, and I think they did a really great job. PCP Manny Mephisto ended up getting the win, so you send the hometown crowd out with the hometown favorites, but I would hope that we get to see Bussy come back and run some stuff back, but I did see Alley Catch say on Twitter she's never coming back to Canada.
Yeah, Alley Catch had some issues with the flights. I think the past week a lot of wrestlers did from Canada, so...
Yeah, I've seen that popping up, just getting stuck and not being able to get out, or getting, booked and not being able to transfer flights, and yada, yada, yada. We could have Spencer Love on and talk about that for probably hours.
Yes, because Spencer had some issues leading into the last Love Pro Wrestling show.
Yeah.
So, but sorry, sometimes now when you look down and if I say something and you don't acknowledge it right away, I'm like, is this screen frozen again?
I'm looking up.
Frozen?
No, because that's what happened last week. No, I'm looking at notes and stuff. That's the only thing that in the year 2 plus of podcasting I haven't quite figured out is like, what's the best setup? Because I'm not the most technologically savvy guy when it comes to a laptop. I do everything, like from when I do clips or I write articles, like I do everything from my phone, because that's just how I've always done it. And then like I tried the notebook thing, but then I'm like, I feel like I'm like, in my notes. So I have to figure out the best, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like I write it on an iPad or something. I don't know. I got to figure it out. Because it does. It looks like I'm just like not paying attention, but I'm totally like in zone, just trying to get to the next stuff.
Did Pluggo fall asleep again?
Right. Am I sleeping on the show? Like, because I'll look back on clips on Beard sometimes and it looks like I'm like over here I'm like, no, but I'm just trying to like either work our social media page while we're on air, or because I'm not a professional streamer by any stretch. I'm not one of the good ones. No. As my friends have told me, my friends in the Reds have told me, I'm the second worst streamer of all time.
Oh, who's the worst?
I don't know. They haven't told me yet, but they said I can't be the best at anything. But I think that they mean that kind-hearted and lovingly. So I don't actually think they mean it in a mean way, because we're friends.
Kind of, continuing on the union of friendship. So
yeah, that's the Rad Summit was awesome.
Do you want to pay some bills first, or do you want to do?
Do you want to pay some bills first?
Well, let's pay some bills first. If you're,
are you gonna do it? Or you want me to do it?
I will do it, because I figured out how to loop. So
you're gonna read it?
No, I'm not gonna read it.
Oh, you're not gonna read it. Oh, I
don't have the read. So if you send it to me, I'll do it.
I'm telling you what, and I keep saying this, and I said this on Thursday. I am going to just clip JPJ's read of this bet stamp read and just play it, because it's so good that I think it should just be the standard, but he should do voiceover work. But no, I can pay the bills. We come back with some tidbits. We'll do some previews and we'll get out of here. But so whenever you're ready, today's podcast is brought to you by our friends over at BetStamp. In the same way that travelers use travel.com or Trivago or hotels.com, BetStamp does the same for you, but only with betting. It gives every sportsbook has different lines and different payouts for same games. So what BetStamp does is they set them up, they line them up, and you knock them out. They give you, MGM has one payout, Caesars has another. They tell you who's got the best betting odds, which is crucial to betting. It'll save you. You'll win thousands of dollars on average more by using BetStamp. So if you go to BetStamp.com right now, put in that promo code Love Wrestling. They will help you get your betting journey started off for free. Tell them they sent you. Again, who wouldn't want to win more money by betting the same games? using this fine app. I use it. It's wonderful. So thankfully, the easy line shopping is there for you for the most profitable odds across the board. Again, promo code Love Wrestling. Get BetStamp downloaded. You can download it on your iOS, your Android, your Apple. Go to betstamp.com. Just put in that promo code. And if you're already a BetStamp member, go back in. Put that referral code in. Get started today. Get your gambling off on the right foot. Football season is coming up, right? So there's going to be games, and they're going to give you odds. You can do player props. I did player prop bets.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Those are fun for me. Or like, I did the most random, and BetStamp like lined it up. I was like, I like to do random stuff. So I did like, when the NBA playoffs were going on, I was like, what's going to be the combined score at halftime? And it would tell you like Caesars is going to pay you this, MGM Grand will pay you this. Some of the other ones like FanDuel and stuff. FanDuel has DraftKings and FanDuel for WWE and AEW pay-per-views. You can bet on those, but do it through BetStamp. They'll tell you who's paying the most. We're getting better at this.
Yeah, you crushed that.
I actually am not kidding. I say this quite often. I had never gambled. I never used a sports book before BetStamp, and it was incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Well, we have our first commenter of the day, and it is our buddy. If you want to put it on the screen, Big Ben Wortman's saying, well, he's hard now. Well, Ben, I have been hard since the moment I met you.
Yep. This it's 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, so the kids are, going on to the YouTube and queuing up a show and hearing about Pluggo being hard. We're gonna need a TV-14 rating.
As I've told everybody that's ever worked with me in the history of this wrestling media thing, you knew what you signed up for. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything here.
You are not.
Welcome to the real world, kiddos. Pluggo's hard.
Yeah.
Like in them streets, like wrestling. Like I'm just rock hard, Juice Robinson.
Rock hard Pluggo.
Yeah, rock hard Pluggo Robinson.
Okay, you want to do some tidbits before we preview some shows?
Yeah, is one of the tidbits that Big Ben Ortman's has the hugest hog in the game?
It is not. That is next week.
Oh, it's such a huge hog. We have to do a two-parter series.
Yeah, it's like a 8-piece miniseries. No? Okay.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of something clever to follow up with that. That's and okay. I literally had like nope, I got nothing.
That's okay.
Because you can't, I don't think you could say 8-piece miniseries. I think it's an 8-piece mega series.
8-piece limited series.
Nothing about Big Ben Ortman's is mini. Nothing about Big Ben Ortman's is mini.
Is it limited?
No, that's up to him to decide if it's limited or the quantity is massive for all.
Well, depending on him, if it's limited, it can be an 8-piece limited series. If it's not, it'll be an 8-piece mega series, and it's perfect for everyone.
He said
Ben Ortman, perfect for everyone.
Perfect for everyone. And he's tuning in next week to hear more about his massive haul.
Well, we're going to run some tidbits. GCW was in Japan this past week, running a few shows.
And I got to admit, I didn't watch a ton of it because, my goodness, they were on it. It was, I'm going to sit down this weekend and burn through some GCW. That's for sure. The
Blake Christian match with Shinjiro Irie was very, very good. So I enjoyed that. Cool. But your boy,
my boy,
our boys, Ciclope Miedo Extremo, went for a little trip. We have a picture of it because they went to the Rivera Steakhouse.
That famous Rivera Steakhouse?
Yeah, and here we go. Look at that.
Oh, he's in the backpack? Has he got the backpack on?
No backpack.
No backpack, but his boys got on a fanny pack.
Yeah. So
what's in the fanny pack?
Running a different bit. We have to. We want to know what's in the fanny pack. What's in the backpack? What's
in any pack that the Los Miseros have? Backpack, fanny pack. I gotta know what you guys are putting in these backpacks. Do I need to start wearing a backpack and or fanny pack throughout my day? Am I doing something wrong here? Because they look badass. I wonder what they had. I wonder what the go-to there is. I would love to talk to a wrestler that's been there because it's like the big thing. Like, what is the go-to? Like, what do you have to get? Or do you just go and you just like, I'm going to have what I feel like having, or if there's like a must-have. Is it in his fanny pack? Did he take some like sugar packets or something, when you go to restaurants when you were, younger? My mom is going to hate this if she ever sees this, but we used to go to restaurants when we were younger and she'd take a couple sugar packets for her coffee. I'd be like, Mom, are you taking? She's like, yeah, I just need a couple for the coffee, like to take to work with me, not because I can't, not like she was taking them all. We had sugar at home. I was like, Mom, we have sugar at home.
Yeah, because she stole it from restaurants.
She would take them to work and she would use them so that way it was more travel convenient.
Jeez. Can I just say the swag that Cyclope has in that picture is top notch? Like, that's how I want to look when I'm in pictures. Put
that back up again.
Okay.
Put it back up again.
Yeah, I'm learning all this StreamYard stuff. Look at that.
Yeah, if you don't show up next week looking like that, the show's canceled.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I gotta go get my Ribera Steakhouse jacket.
For our Halloween episode, I think we found I've got a pair of shorts that I could pull off that look kind of like Cyclopes.
Okay, so you're Cyclope and I'll be Miedo Extremo.
I mean, you'd be whatever. We could do it all we can, but that's our Halloween costume coming up.
I'll shave my beard so it's like Extremo's goatee.
Oh, there you go. But they're back. They need to come up with a clever, like the fanny pack and backpack combined. Yeah. If he doesn't wear that while he wrestles, then he's doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. I will say I did notice he didn't have the back. Cyclope did not rock the backpack. I wonder if there was like because he had to put, maybe he had it on, but then they put on the Riviera's jacket. So he took it off. They snapped the picture. Then he quickly put it back on because, he can't be without it.
Under the jacket.
Could have been under the jacket. He's got a big hump going now. Like, I got to know. Somebody in the wrestling world, please link us up with Cyclope so we could sit down and figure this out.
I want Cyclope to be our first guest on this show. So if someone can make that work.
Our first and our last.
Yeah, he'll come on there and be like, what the hell is this?
If we ever get to 500 episodes of this, we're just like, Cyclope was our only guest.
I took the overlay away. There we go. Okay. So tidbits this week. Tomorrow night, Smash Wrestling has Maki Ito versus Jody Threat.
Ooh, the Wild Child and Maki Ito.
That should be fun.
That will be fun. Somebody's gonna get hurt in a good way, not like in a shoot way, like in a work way. Like they're gonna hurt each other. It's gonna be awesome. I think people are gonna love that.
So we got that next weekend. Or is it next weekend? 7:30. I think next weekend, the 30th.
Yeah.
ETU
Sunday.
Next Sunday. Yeah. Jody Thread and Maki Ito the 22nd. Next Sunday, ETU up on IWTV. They're running a show, and one of the matches announced, because I saw a promo for it, is Lee Moriarty versus Alec Price. So I mean, something people might want to go to their way to check out, because those two are going to put on
They should go out of their way and check it out. You might do it next Sunday. Do it, and then let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah, so that should be a really good one. You sent me this one. Also saw it up on Twitter on August 2nd. Pro Wrestling Revolver is running John Moxley versus Gringo Loco.
Ben commented right as you said that. Dude was legit too nervous. Did you introduce yourself to Maki Ito, but you were just too nervous to do it, or you built up the nerves and you did it? Because I asked Lawrence about meeting her, and he said she was so nice. She was just like super nice and chill. So that's awesome.
I always like when, you meet a wrestler and they're like, very chill like that, very easygoing, very nice. Because there has been some instances where you meet someone and when they say like never meet your heroes, and you're like, yeah, that kind of sucked. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever came across that. I've came across some wrestlers that I've met at some shows where they were just like, you felt like you were bothering them, but
Yeah.
it's like, all right, it wasn't too bad. But usually most of the people, I'm super nervous to meet like most of them, but they're always so nice, the ones that I've met. Like it's usually a good time. I don't think I've had a bad wrestler interaction experience.
No, not bad, but just maybe disappointing, you know, when you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I expect it, you know, I expect them to be a little, you know,
A little nicer, nicer about it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess that I'm sure somebody's got I'm sure there's stories, but so far I've been incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because I just like all the good people in wrestling.
Apparently.
Maybe that's what it is. I just meet all of the gems because I only want to talk to all the good people.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You do. It's very
there's one I'll tell you off air that I was like, I don't think he even knew I was there.
Yeah, I'll share one too, just because I don't want to do with anyone. So but,
I'll just leave it at that. The guy he was fine. I just don't think he knew where he was, and I don't think he knew where I was.
After hours with Blair and Pluggo.
He said she was busy in the locker room and I didn't want to bother her. However, I jammed out hard. Yeah. No, her Bob, they losing their minds. That is a video. You need to record those things, Ben. You and Bob Anger rocking out to Maki Ito's song. That sounds like a time and a half.
So yeah, August 2nd, Pro Wrestling Revolver, Moxley versus Gringo. That's gonna be
it's like a lucha street fight. So bang. Gringos, there's gonna be blood, there's gonna be guts. See what I did there? Because Moxley, was in blood and guts. And
the 8th on August 13th, special day. That's also my birthday. But PWG is running Mystery Vortex. If you don't know Mystery Vortex, basically they don't announce any of the matches. It happens. The matches happen as they happen. So you don't know what to expect.
Interesting. We'll probably be talking about that.
Yeah, we'll preview it, or we can maybe
preview it right now. Yeah. We're not sure what's going to happen. Yeah, it's a mystery.
We'll review it in 6 months' time when I get the DVD. So
right.
And no shade at all, because I love PWG. If I didn't have stuff going on that weekend, I was gonna fly out there for the show. So one day,
big move there.
Yeah, well, it's my goal to see a PWG show. That's what I want. I want to go to a PWG show.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I want.
Let's make Blair's goal happen. Leave us lots and lots of super chats.
Please.
The Blair Fly to PWG Fund.
August 20th, GCW's got a couple shows. They announced that Dragon Kid is going to be there. So
isn't this homecoming for that? That's homecoming.
Yeah.
So they got the 19th and 20th, right? Or 20th and 21st.
Yeah. Dragon Kid's going to be there. So that's a big deal. August 24th, Demand Lucha in Toronto has Alex Shelley going to be there.
Ooh.
So, just throwing it out there. Some Canadian stuff for our Canadian viewers.
And we're calling it Tidbits, so it's got to be some Canadian flavor to it.
And the other show that has me considering just getting up and flying is September 10th, West Coast Pro. They announced Daniel Garcia is going to be there. And they also announced that Manami Toyota is going to be there, which is huge because if you've watched her wrestle before, she is magnificent. And I would fly halfway across the continent for her. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's the tidbits.
That's the tidbit. So the tidbit is we call them donut holes. Is that what a tidbit is? A little donut hole?
Basically.
So okay. Because that's I would have to be like, here's Pluggo's donut holes of the week. Which is funny that we call them donut holes because they're not actual holes. They're the hole is in the donut. It's the
here's Pluggo's doughy holes.
Yeah. Those are only for Mrs. Pluggo there, Blair. Hey-o. Unbelievable. This is
we should talk about the Prestige show that's coming up because that's this weekend.
Yes,
it'll be a lot of fun.
I sent that to you a couple weeks ago when they announced it, and I was like, "What? Is this real life?" So yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do the damn thing,
I'm
as the
just gonna
kids
punch
say.
it up. Where do I have it? I am so unorganized now. I know I saved it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm just falling apart here.
We're falling apart at the seams.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Next time I'm going to make sure I save it. So, Prestige, July 23rd, coming from New Jersey. Prestige is on IWTV, correct? Or is that
Correct.
yeah.
Yes, they're IWTV.
So we'll start from the bottom and build to the top. Ace of Space Academy versus Bobby Orlando and Colin Delaney. I will be very honest. I know very little about these four, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, because you get to learn about new wrestlers.
That's what
Colin Delaney's a name,
Yeah.
The other three not so much, but again, this is why we said from the beginning, we don't know everything. We're not going to be able to break down every independent wrestler in the world because there's so many talented ones, but this is where you learn somebody new. And then if they catch our eye, we'll talk about it next week, and we'll be future matches. We're like, hell yeah, I can't wait to see such and such a person wrestle at this. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing of wrestling.
We got Speedball Mike Bailey facing off with Akira, so that should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be interesting. Speedball's been on quite a tear lately. Akira's also been on quite a tear lately. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's one half of the MLW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, with Ricky Shane Page.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. He won that at the event that Alex Kane won the world title.
Mm-hmm. So. And, I'm wearing my Mike Bailey shirt. I'm showing some love. I'm hoping he picks up the big dub.
Yeah. We stand for Mike Bailey on this channel, on all Love Wrestling channels. We love Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
So
we definitely have the ones we stand on this show. So
yeah.
We got one called Manders versus Alan Angel. So this should be a fun one.
Yeah, and then one called Manders, I believe, just won the Scenic City Invitational.
Yeah.
So last week, which was another big show that last weekend was so packed with things, I forgot it was happening. So I have to circle back and watch that tournament because it's always a fun time. So then you've got Alan Angels, who's just in the FU mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's just stealing the show everywhere he goes.
He's just going ham on everyone, just having banger matches, just tearing up the indies. It's great. I love seeing stuff like that.
I do too. So that'll be a fun match for sure.
We got Janae Kai versus Zaya Brookside.
Very, very cool. Speaking of Zaya Brookside, she'll be wrestling this weekend against Billy Starks at Black Label Pro, I think tonight. So Zaya Brookside's making her run through the indies. Go check that out. Janae Kai's awesome. Hell yeah.
This Black Label Pro is running 2 shows this weekend. I think an afternoon one and a later one.
They're doing one shortly after we get off of air. It'll start. It's at 12 Central Time, so probably 1 o'clock. It's like I don't want to call it the undercard. It's like an up and coming thing. It would be like Black Label Pro's minor league system, and I don't want to say that in a disrespectful way. It's just a lot of people that they have worked with and trained are making debuts, and they're going to do a little thing, and then they have a main card with a lot of cool names. Your best friend Filthy Tom Lawler will be there.
It's like their NXT to a regular pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So if you love Black Label Pro, they got a lot going on today.
Yep. So, let me go back to Prestige. So Zaya Brookside, Janae Kai. Sorry. There's if Robert Martyr loses, he leaves Prestige match between Robert Martyr and Jake Christ.
Bye, Robert Martyr. See ya. Jake Christ's gonna win. He's not very nice to anybody when he's in these he always yells at people. Robert Martyr. He's a bit. And now that I am best friends with the Rads, I am looking for somebody.
I was going to say you just always have to have heat with something.
Gotta have something. No, that match is going to rule. Robert Martyr he's very talented. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good professional wrestler. He's just obviously the heel in this situation.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Robert, if you see this, it's all love, buddy. It's all love. But you might be out. You might not ever be back at Prestige. I'm just saying, Jake Chris is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. We got Maki Ito. So, Maki's going to be flying from London, Ontario to Asbury Park, New Jersey. Maki's going to be facing off with Trish Adora.
Oh, dude. And I think I know that there's some bigger matches that we're going to talk about after this one, but that was like the one I saw first when I saw the list, and I was like, shit, that's gonna rule. Like Maki and Trisha Doric, yes, please. Like, let's go. So this card is a banger.
Yeah,
like
it's solid from top to bottom. I mean, like, huge fan of Trish. She had a great match last night on the ROH 0 Hour against Layla Hirsch. So
Layla Hirsch is back.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? I love me some legit Layla Hirsch.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a fun one. Mackie and Trish, they're gonna rip it up.
So far, there's not a skippable match on this card.
No, it's solid.
It's solid.
We got the Prestige Wrestling Championship, Alex Shelley versus Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps getting better and better. Like, the matches are fantastic. This one is just going to be a banger. Like, if you would have told me like 5 years ago that I'd be sitting here being able to watch Shelley and Gresham go out there and just put on a classic on an indie show, like, I'd be in heaven. So that's perfect.
And the crazy part about it is it's only $10 a month for IWTV, and you get thousands and thousands of other shows. So think about it in the grand scheme of pricing. If however you want to break it down, you're getting Gresham and Shelley for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see how many different ways Jonathan Gresham could try up Alex Shelley and how Alex Shelley can get out of these pretzel-like holds, dude. I'm psyched.
It would be ludicrous to not sign up for some of these streaming services.
Yeah. And because that's the thing. I know that we're gonna go off on a little side quest here, but like that's the beautiful part about independent wrestling. Your bigger names are starting to make their way through this and understand that like there is viable options here to wrestle. So even if you sign up for just one, let's say you sign up for IWTV for Prestige, you're gonna get that, you're gonna get Beyond Wrestling, you're gonna get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, West Coast
Pros that you're gonna get, and all these big name wrestlers are making their rounds. And so like Xia Brookside, former NXT wrestler, you know what I mean? Yeah. She's wrestling on this card. Maki Ito is well known throughout, she's on AEW. Alex Shelley's the Impact World Champion. Like, so just getting opportunities to see these people for $10 a month. I mean, if you can swing it, go for it. Like, I mean, obviously if you can't, I'm not going to fault you for that. Spend your money if you got it, but it's worth it. I'm just saying it's worth it if you can float it. And Fight Plus they're picking up things left and right too. They're starting to become the next IW. They're trying to do IWTV type stuff. They're picking up independents too. And I got to see MLW for free. That's not for a pay-per-view, not for free. I paid the monthly subscription, but instead of paying separately for that, it's wonderful.
First time ever, like, this has main event written all over it. Malachi Black doesn't do many indie shows, facing off with Kevin Blackwood. This match is going to whip.
Just from a basic low end, like I thought to myself when I saw this match, for one, the obvious, it's going to rule. It's going to be awesome. But it was like Prestige, like Malachi Black, tons of tattoos. Kevin Blackwood. We'll get him too. We'll just have a battle of the tattooed guys. No, it's going to rule. Kevin Blackwood just signed it. Or I don't know how it works. He got drafted to MLW. I don't know the contract structures there. I assume that means he's signed to MLW, but he'll still get to do his independent thing. Because, I mean, Alex Kane is a prime example of that. Matt Cardona got all that. So, yeah, he's starting to get some more and more recognition. Malachi Black is obviously a stud that everybody loves. So this is a great spot for Kevin.
Yeah. Huge opportunity to just turn some heads. And that's what I'm saying. Get to see Malachi Black in a wrestling ring in the independents. What more could you want? Yeah, no, it'll be very good. And that's why that's why I think like everybody's like, oh, Malachi Black or like a Keith Lee, they were better off at WWE. I don't know. I think these guys, Roddy Strong, I think these guys are like, I want to independent. Like I can still be me. I can go out and do my thing on the independent, still get a payday, and like, take select bookings. Like this is cool. Malachi Black. I can't remember the last independent show he's done stateside. Yeah, I know that there was some stuff overseas that he did, but stateside, I don't remember the last one he's been on. So this is a huge thing. This is just like when Keith Lee was doing Texas Toasted last week. Hell yeah. So we should touch on the LPW show very quickly because we are getting close to that hour mark. And nothing good happens after an hour because that's when our streams freeze.
Yeah, we're like hour 10, hour 15 is like we're like pushing to critical mass and all of our
so we got to be out by hour 5. Okay, so
I think everything will be okay today. It's quiet upstairs. I think nobody's touching anything. As long as like the powers to be don't cut my internet off like they did last week.
Yeah,
might be able to pull it off.
So this Friday,
9 o'clock Eastern.
LPW 17 coming from Edmonton, Alberta, the Rec Room. Already, if you go up onto Love Wrestling Patreon.
Yep, and it's called Violence. You're supposed to go now. Violence. It would just violence. That's what it's called.
If you go to the Love Wrestling Patreon, there is already some great interviews up on there. I had the chance to talk to Jasmine Allure. You talked to Taylor Rising. JPJ talked to Amir Jordan. Go check those out because they were a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. The main event, 3 Stages of Hell, Zoe Sager defending her LPW Grand Championship against Gigi Ray.
Our girl, Gigi Ray.
Yeah.
Team Gigi, money team.
That match is going to whip.
And people always clamor for long-term storytelling, and they always clamor for storytelling in the independent wrestling scene. This has been a long time coming. Gigi and Zoe have always had a bit of a rivalry dating back to early on in LPW. So I'm excited to see this happen. Gigi got that win against Shaza last month, and she's rare to go. And I think Zoe's in a little bit of trouble here. I really do. Like, I love me some Zoe Sager. She's fantastic, but she's got to work out. Gigi is motivated. Gigi's ready.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have Son of Irish defending the LPW Challenge Championship against Amir Jordan. Yeah, that one's going to be great. Amir's doing like a run of Canadian dates, kicking things off here with LPW. I mean, I'm excited for this opportunity for him, and it's a huge match for Son of Irish, a huge title defense. He's been defending it left and right, and the challengers continue with Amir Jordan.
Yeah, I think this is his biggest defense yet, and Amir's motivated. He's pumped. He's looking to prove himself out here in Canada. Turn some heads doing it. No better counterpart to do that with than Son of Irish. So, whew.
The GCWA Women's Champion, Jasmine Allure, my favorite, is facing off against Taylor Rising.
My favorite.
Yes. This is a rematch. They faced off with each other a few months ago. Jasmine got the win. She's going to be looking to continue that victorious streak over Taylor, and I think she does it.
But Taylor has learned a few things since that encounter and made some moves, and she's ready to take care of business and get back into the LPW title scene.
But is Taylor top tier? That's what's important. I know Jasmine is
top tier. She's Taylor Rising. She's always rising to the top.
Come on.
We'll see. We can put it on the board. We can put a bet on the board. We can watch some more WCW pay-per-views.
Oh, we got to record that this month.
Yes, we do. I can't wait.
There is a gauntlet match for a grand championship contendership. Reed Matthews, the thickness, facing off.
First time ever that they're doing this gauntlet match for a number 1 contendership.
Reed Matthews against Travis Williams, against El Assassino versus Michael Allen, Richard Clark versus the wily veteran
Jared Rogers, who just had the biggest upset victory in LPW history last month. He's riding high. And he's no longer the Golden Boy, the professional Travis Williams. I'm very excited for his new look, his new attitude. And Reed's busy, so Zoe, I don't know when obviously that's the main event. I hopefully, depending on what goes on with Reed, if he gets taken out in this match, Zoe's gonna have to go one-on-one. You always got to think about those things,
and that would be a huge advantage for Gigi to not have Reed at ringside helping Zoe.
Although I don't want to go down this black hole rabbit hole of me fantasy booking things, but imagine a scenario where Reed Matthews becomes the number one contender to that grand championship, and Zoe somehow escapes the clutches of Gigi Ray. And oh my goodness. Just think of that tasty little nugget for a little bit. Let that noodle around next Friday while you're watching this thing.
The potential drama that can come out of LPW 17 is massive.
Yes, is violent. Violent. Yes. So Spencer, if you're watching, think about it. I love chaos when it comes to wrestling. I love just absurd chaos. And I think that would be her muscle that she pays to help her out is now her biggest challenger. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that match is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We got Bharat Gurani facing off with Sean Moore. This is stemming from the incident at the last LPW show. So they're going to be facing off one-on-one.
Yep.
I'll let you talk about it while I try to find the match graphic of one other match. So
basically Bharat and Sheik Shabazz are your LPW tag team champions, and they came out and assaulted Phil and Sean Moore. And Sean Moore basically came out and said, look, we want a shot. We want those tag titles. They got their win at 16. But I think, it was one of those, you got one win, so do you automatically get a tag shot? I don't think so. So Bharat's like, you and me, Sean, let's square up. And I have to imagine if Sean Moore pulls it off, we'll see that tag match down the road. I'm excited for that one.
And we got the LPW Scramble Championship. I had to find the graphic just so I could rattle off everyone who's in it. So we got Jack Pride.
I could have done it.
It's okay. Defending against Mars the Specialist, against TJ Cannon, against Larry Woods, against T.Y. Jackson, against Rich King, against Michael Richard Blairs, against Stephen Crow.
Yeah.
That's an 8-person scramble match.
The biggest scramble match in LPW history. And I would, and by sheer number size alone and just magnitude, this, for those that are uninitiated, there was just pure chaos at 16. Everybody between these factions, like literally Spencer had to get in and start yelling. And Spencer only yells at me and JPJ on Fridays. And now he's yelling at these wrestlers because they all don't like each other. Each faction is jockeying for top position within the company because everybody has a claim to be the best faction in LPW right now. And I'm interested to see some alliances might form. You might see a rat like Jack Pride and Rich King team up to take out somebody just to give themselves an advantage. You might see a rad Larry Woods face off with T.Y. Jackson. You might see, Michael Richard Blairs and Stephen Crow go to blows. Like, who knows what can happen here? Mars the Specialist. And that would be something, right? Like Mars the Specialist linking up with Larry Woods. Like, oh my gosh, just to get for this championship that is Jack Pride's. And he has said they are not losing that thing.
No, so I mean, there's a lot of potential just for future storylines, seeing what's going to happen, who's going to go where, because you never know coming out of a scramble match like this. Because I mean, you've seen that, Seven had some issues before with TJ and Mars, maybe, it was squashed, but maybe something happens. Maybe you see Mars link up with someone else. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Jack, Mars tries to pin Jack Pride for, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get chaotic. I hope that Spencer and the boys over at Love Pro Wrestling have bought, got some extra security just to keep that thing contained. The rec room might not be standing afterwards. Hopefully it's standing afterwards because we have another match to talk about.
We do. What's the other one? Because I don't have it on my match graphic.
The main event. Oh, we already talked about the main event. We talked about the event first.
Yes.
So what am I missing? What are we missing? I think that's it. No.
I hope so.
Wait. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all the matches that have been announced so far.
Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, they might be announcing another one soon, but I believe that because if you think about it, it's a little bit of a lesser card because you have the 3 stages of hell match. You've got that massive scramble match. You've got that gauntlet number 1 contenders match. So it seems like we missed somebody, but there might be one more match that they announced this week. So stay tuned to the Love Wrestling social medias to see if there's anything else. But that's a packed card, dude. Yeah. That's a full night.
I'm going to a show on Friday as well, so I got to watch that LPW show when I get home afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to an outdoor show.
Ooh, an outdoor show. Interesting. Yeah. Bring your own chair?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
You better figure that out. That would be nothing worse than
I've got a solid chair that I'd sit into. So
I jokingly thought next time I go to a bring your own chair show, I'm just going to bring my recliner.
Yeah, that's a solid idea.
Just
might as well be comfortable.
Yeah. I wonder if they'd look at me and be like, "You can't do that." If like it didn't say that I couldn't.
Yeah. It doesn't have a specifics for chairs.
It doesn't say it has to be a folding chair. It doesn't say it has to be one of those pop-up chairs. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever they call those.
Yeah.
You know, you see it like soccer games.
The fold-out ones that you just like.
Yeah, the one that you and they're open and you're like, "Yep." No, I'm bringing a full-ass recliner next time I go to one of those and just gonna be like, "What up?"
just forever.
Yeah. When I went to Black Label Pro, it was Kevin Koo versus Speedball. Just imagine me in my recliner, fully reclined with like a drink in the cup holder, just being like, "This is awesome." Both these guys. Like, is he sleeping? My eyes are barely open, and I'm just loving every second of it. That'd be dope. Yeah.
Now, you would be loving that. Hopefully, they're loving us. Where can they find you up on social media?
Well, you could find me at Pluggo _ on the Twitter machine, at Pluggo on all of the social medias, at Pluggo on Blue Sky. I'm so into I'm new to the Blue Sky.
You are.
I was able to get just Pluggo. I didn't have to put any other thing in it, which was kind of cool because unfortunately I did it on Twitter. But yeah, you can find me there. You can find me at B2Beards on all social medias as well. Just stay up to the show page on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. JPJ and I do our thing. You find me here every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. or Sunday, depending on our weekends. But we do the damn thing here on For Exposure. And yeah, and I just did a interview with Tom from Tom Talks Rubbish over on Fightful Overbooked. Ooh. That is up now called Loving Wrestling. And we sat around for about a half hour talking about my love for wrestling and how I got started in the business and just what I enjoy about it. That was a lot of fun.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And you can find me up on Twitter at GrayMakerPod, all the other social medias. Here every weekend doing For Exposure with you. Yeah. And I mean, just dropped a podcast with Boom Pro Wrestling, Max from there. We talked about just, how Boom came to be. Next week, The Thickness, Reed Matthews is joining me.
Reed rules, dude.
Reed is great. And if you want to find out who's kicking off August, stop by brunch tomorrow. Maybe I'll tell you.
Saying.
Yeah, just saying. It's a big one. Someone I was very stoked to get on the show. So.
And I don't know about it yet?
You don't. I'll tell you when we go off air.
What the hell? I'm just kidding. Okay. What is this? You keep it secrets?
I'm Blair. This is Pluggo. Thanks for joining us on For Exposure. I'll play us out.
All right. Let's see if he can nail it. He's been on a streak.
Okay. Everyone
we made it to the minute 100 or the hour 12 mark too.
Nothing.
Yes.
Everyone
Success.
Have a great weekend. Peace in the streets.
Peace. Big bang.